Hello and welcome to the Channel One Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Oula Hansen Lane at Tesano here in Accra. I am Nanatifo Boate. Coming up, hundreds of residents displaced by the spillage of the Wager Dam spent the night in churches and classrooms after their homes were submerged in water.
I see it all saying.
Na suna baba fire nyama nuna. Mbesi nuna nyama nuna tuma nuna. Msiadi nuna ako. Jenu kutenu kwa na myo.
National House of Chiefs expresses worry over rampant killing in Galamsey areas.
About 10 days ago, a chief in my area and his young men went to the forest to ask these young men to stop illegal mining and if they had any documents to produce them. Unfortunately, they were bolding and killed one of them and inflicted.
Still ahead, Gbechile and Apollonia residents give Ghana Water Limited a 3-day ultimatum to address their water crisis.
We are marching. We wrote a letter to Honorable. He waited until we are hitting the streets and you are here to address us. Are you being fair to us? We sent a letter in your office. We brought a letter concerning our water.
Parliament passes anti-LGBTQ bill criminalizing homosexuality.
An act to provide for human sexual rights and family values and related matters.
Honourable members, the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 is duly read for the 3rd time and passed.
Coming up in Channel One Business. 2026 City Business Festival begins in June with series of impactful sessions aimed at promoting business growth and innovation. And later in Channel One Sports. Ghana Football Association defends inclusion of Baba Rahman in Black Star squad to face Wales. This hour, let's begin the bulletin from the House of Legislature, where Parliament has passed the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025, popularly known as the Anti-LGBTQ+ Bill. The legislation, which seeks to criminalize LGBTQ activities, was passed with new amendments that exempt certain individuals and institutions from sanctions under the law. Channel One News' Ni Aikwe Okai has more in the following report.
Parliament on Friday commenced the clause-by-clause consideration of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, also known as the Anti-LGBT Bill. The Minority Caucus strongly objected to proposed amendments seeking to exempt sanctions for individuals who provide legal advice or legal representation to persons identified as LGBT. The amendment also seeks to exempt journalists and media houses reporting on LGBT-related news or current affairs in the course of their work, as well as professionals providing medical, surgical, psychological, or counseling services to such individuals. The proposed changes were fiercely opposed by the minority during proceedings on the floor of Parliament.
They are amending, Mr. Speaker, the clause 9, the very amendment they rejected in opposition. Today that they are in government, they are claiming that this is the bill they want. Mr. Speaker, they are virtually rendering the very thing they propose odious. Mr. Speaker, the very thing that they and Ghanaians, the people of Ghana can see through the double standard, the lack of principle. And I'm putting it to you, Majority Leader, that your side lack principle. You say you are passing a law. Which law?
And so if I find it highly problematic, any attempt by this House to push any of these exceptions in, we will resist it. And if the House will use their majority numbers to push it through, I, as a sponsor, will advise myself accordingly.
Very well. You are entitled to advise yourself. Yes, Majority Leader.
NDC is passing.
Media raise strong issues because they think that we are violating the right to free expression. Professionals such as lawyers raise strong issues that we are violating their professional freedom and violating the rights of people to legal services. Then academics, universities. I was on the committee, you remember, the previous parliament, and these civil society groups made a very strong case. So what the committee is trying to do is to narrowly set out those exceptions where when you speak, you will not be considered as promoting or supporting LGBTQ.
An act to provide for human sexual rights and family values and related matters.
Honourable members, the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2025 is duly read for the third time and passed.
Co-sponsor of the anti-LGBT bill, Reverend John Tim Fodjo, later addressed journalists accusing the NDC of being influenced by some foreign countries to introduce the amendments.
So if you go and introduce a whole exceptions of the real targets of this law, then we don't have any law at all. And here, they are, as we speak, they are hurriedly trying to pass it. And all these things came about because they engaged certain foreign countries who just came in and dictated that if they don't introduce this clause, this amendment, and insert, is that amendment proposed, add the following new subclause, subsection 2, does not apply to. The subsection 2 that does not apply to is a subsection that prescribes the support, advocacy, promotion of LGBT activities. And you are saying that they can undertake all those activities.
Well, let's get reactions from the Catholic Bishops' Conference and speak to Most Reverend Matthew Jemfi, who is the president of the conference. Thank you so much for your time. Let's know your initial reactions to the passage of the bill.
Well, we were very, very happy to hear that the bill has been passed. But as we may recognize, the devil lives in the details. We don't know exactly the details that have been passed. But if there is anything that has been passed that does not promote LGBT activities, it does not allow it to be taught in our schools, it does not allow it to be practiced publicly, and it is a bill that does not allow LGBT practices to be part of our culture and family, then at least we have something to start with.
Very well. We know that we are yet to appreciate the details of this particular one, but this will be the second time a bill of such nature is being passed. What are your expectations now that, for want of a better expression, Parliament has finished its end of the bargain?
Yes, so Parliament has taken a step. It's a step forward. From our experience previously, now it has to be presented to the President of Ghana. And it is only when the President's signature has been appended that we can say it has become a law in the land. So there is still a hurdle to be cleared, considering the fact that the last time the bill was passed, we do not know whether it got into the desk of the President or not. And we are not expecting that this will go through similar experience. This time, we expect Parliament, after passing the bill, to place it, send it to the President, and to put it on his desk for him to sign. Until the President has appended his signature, we cannot say that the bill is totally passed.
This was one of the issues, that came to the fore when you met the president earlier. And you've just mentioned that until his signature is on the bill, making it law, there are still expectations. But, do you get some level of respite now that Parliament has passed it?
Certainly. If Parliament does not pass it, it does not get to the President.
Indeed.
So we have cleared a hurdle, but there is still one or two more hurdles to be cleared. The processes that Parliament has to use, we are not used to these things, to get it to the President. So whilst we are congratulating them, we are saying they have not finished their work. Their work is to get it on the desk of the President and properly handed to the President. And then all our focus and attention will then be, when is the President going to sign it? Is he going to sign it or he's not going to sign it? Right. But as it is still with Parliament. They haven't finished their job.
Indeed, indeed. Let's look at the aftermath of this law and what the message will be to especially law enforcement agencies and Ghanaians in general with respect to abuse or otherwise, so that people do not take it or people do not weaponize him against targeted groups or otherwise.
In fact, the issue you have raised is very, very important. We should realize that those who have these inclinations and orientations are not evil people. They are not necessarily evil because they have these orientations. And therefore, nobody should abuse them, harm them, or hurt them, or discriminate against them in any way. That is not the purpose of the law. The purpose of the law is that people should not be educated, be invited to join these groups. People should not be allowed to propose and to get it on the air or in schools or in any way as if it is something that is good, that is positive. It is an aberration. And those who happen to be victims of this should be helped. They should not be harmed or hurt in any way. And we believe the law or the bill, when we read the details, may make provisions and make it criminal for anybody to hurt, harm, or discriminate against such people.
Also, what will be the role of the church in educating the masses about this particular law?
Well, the churches, we have the captive audience, so to speak, in our churches. And we have to speak, and we do speak about it as often as we get the opportunity to do so. We also have schools. And now that the law is against teaching this formally, we will use the schools also to teach students against such practices. And any other forum or fora that we will have where we have to talk about family values, which we do very often.
Most Reverend Father Matthew Gyamfi, grateful so much for your time, and we look forward to future engagements.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Very well. That's the president of the Catholic Bishops, Most Reverend Matthew Gyamfi, speaking to us there on the passage of the anti-LGBTQ+ bill by Parliament. Let's now move on to some other stories where hundreds of residents displaced by the Wager Dam spillage are enduring sleepless nights in churches and other open spaces after floodwaters submerged their homes and shattered their livelihoods. The controlled spillage of excess water from the dam, which began on Wednesday, has left many families stranded, vulnerable and uncertain about what tomorrow holds as they struggle to find shelter, food and other basic necessities. Channel 1 News' Fauzuma Sawudu revisited one of the hardest hit communities and reports.
It was a bright, sunny morning at Tetegu, one of the hardest hit communities affected by the Wager Dam spillage in Accra. But beneath the calm skies lies deep pain and despair. For many residents here, the rising floodwaters did not only invade their homes, they washed away memories, possessions and the little sense of security they once had. The Church of Pentecost and several other worship centers have now become temporary shelters for dozens of displaced residents seeking safety and comfort. And as you can see clearly from your shot, even this church, which is serving as a safe haven for these displaced residents, was nearly not spared. Inside this building is now a refuge for families, children, nursing mothers, and the elderly, many of whom have spent at least 2 nights here after fleeing the floods with almost nothing. I say it also.
Na sona baba fire nyama nunyina. Mbesi nunyina nyama nunyina ntuma nunyina. Nsiade nunyina ako. Je nu kutene nkwana nyo. Mfafi misanya nunyina. Gasi nunyina nsiade nunyina ako. Matali nunyina die sanse gumutu. Makonya nunyina papa denu. Nsiafa nunyina ako. Ano osofo ma ndiani. Anam dedidinti. Mintumi sumu bebia. Ntimi tian. Kopo we nkwana nikuta damu di bani. Eno akwa. Mini bebia mikoa.
Despite the discomfort, the affected residents say they have no other option. Many recount how they watched helplessly as floodwaters submerged their homes, destroying belongings they could not salvage. So you slept here last night?
Yeah.
How was it?
It wasn't okay, but we are managing.
Better than none.
Yeah.
So you've lost everything to the spillage?
Yeah.
You didn't take anything?
No. To me, this is the only dress I have took. Yeah. So far.
Okay. So how are you coping?
We are content now. For now, I may say we are content. Yeah. Don't have anything to do about it. So that's what we have to say now.
Leadership of the church says their decision to open their doors to the displaced was driven by compassion and a sense of duty to humanity. They explained that although government officials earlier engaged them on possible support efforts, assistance had not arrived at the time this report was filed.
Any place to go. So though with all these announcements, they will still want to be here. And then when we realized that things were getting out of hand, we decided to accommodate them at the church premises, at least to give them a shelter. And then that is not all. We're also providing them with meals and then make the place a safe haven for them. Currently, they are around 35 with children. And then it's like, even with the 35, in the mornings they go. And then because in the evening they want a place to sleep, they will come back and then have a sleeping place. So in the mornings, daytime, most of them will leave definitely to go and then have their jobs, and then the evenings they will come back.
As uncertainty hangs over the future of these displaced families, affected residents are appealing to authorities to provide compensation and immediate relief support, especially as government prepares for planned eviction exercises in flood-prone communities. I'm flanked by two aged women here at the Church of Pentecost in Tetegu, giving a glimpse of the devastation caused by the spillage of excess water from the Weja Dam, with hundreds being displaced. They say their nights wasn't the best, but definitely better than none. They are thus appealing to relevant authorities to find a lasting solution to what they describe as a recurring menace. Reporting for Channel 1 News, Fauzu Masaudu, Accra.
Away from that, the president of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yao Jebi II, is worried about rampant killings linked to galamsey or illegal mining. Ojiahoho Yao Jebi II described the growing menace as a serious threat to lives and security. According to him, some illegal miners have become heavily armed and violent, creating fear among residents and traditional authorities in mining communities. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Bright Yeboah has details in this report.
The president of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yao Jebi II, expressed worry when the chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jamfi, visited the house in the Ashanti region earlier on Friday to engage the members on the operations and objectives of the newly established board. Addressing the gathering, the president of the National House of Chiefs and paramount chief of the Sefi Aniaso traditional area expressed concern over the activities of illegal miners, popularly known as galamsey operators. He noted that there have been several reported cases of alleged killings in recent times linked to these activities.
About 10 days ago, a chief in my area and his young men went to the forest to ask these young men to stop illegal mining and if they had any documents to produce them. Unfortunately, they were bold and killed one of them and inflicted cutlery wounds on the chief and 5 other people. Nananum, even this morning, there's another report that small-scale miners, whether they are illegal, I don't know, have also attacked certain communities.
He also expressed concern over the influx of foreign nationals in mining communities, warning that the trend poses significant national security implications.
My fear is that we have cannabis in the system. We have Togolese, we have other nationals. And since we have all these people in Burkina Faso and other places, CEO, we should all be careful to make sure that the people don't come here and cause trouble for this country.
The chief executive officer of Gold Board disclosed that the institution has procured 10 speedboats for the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, to enhance efforts in combating illegal mining activities across the country.
This year, Nana President, we have already ordered 10 high-spec ultramodern speedboats for NIMOS, for the soldiers. We ordered this at the recommendation of the Ghana Navy. Because we realize that even though illegal mining is rampant, the one being done in and around our water bodies is the most grave, in fact, it's the gravest sin.
Family of a 17-year-old senior high school student who was shot by police during a demolition exercise at Denchira is demanding a public inquiry into the matter. The family has accused the police of failing to investigate the matter 3 weeks on. Channel 1 News' Central Regional Correspondent Akwesiado has more.
Seth Lamptey, 17 years old from 2 students of Nsawam Senior High School, was returning home after paying her mom a visit in the other side of town when a stray bullet, reportedly fired by police, struck him. Escalated tensions had ensued between police and residents of 3 communities, Domiabra, Denchira, and Ashalaja, following a demolition exercise. According to the victim, who has been discharged from the hospital, he is still not fully recovered to return to school.
Call me, Mama, and I'm going to say, police for any town west, I'm here. Bedouin, and I'm going to say, to not come. Police ni nurse ni nti tu ne kan bi na mo do call him call hospital na wo do mi ara and I'm transfer me the call level Me Philippine police one almost me.
His family incurred a medical bill of 23,800 Ghana cedis. They say police are yet to initiate an investigation into the incident. Father of the victim, Ahmed Odakwe Lamptey, told Channel 1 News the family wants justice.
The total money was 238 million. So last week we paid the 200 million. It was yesterday that was Manya who went and paid the rest of the balance. Even up to now, we never see any of the police. We went to the police station. The commander there told us we have to pay the bill. After they pay the bill, they are going to sit down and talk. Up to now, nobody met us. Nobody. Since the boy came from the hospital, none of the police people are here. So what we are expecting now is left to the IGP and the government.
Meanwhile, reports of an upcoming demolition exercise in the same area have thrown residents into a state of unrest.
Kenya mokoya ne ya agbeshi mokoya ne ya akadua asale wo wosusu ma yegbeye danchira ma je no eshipon baby e
asale dia ye ni takon bia wo ha o because Supreme Court amaya your ruling say on fani number kun en si ha by asale watiti ya che from 2007 ebe si ene ogusu titi ye any langard for asale si ochina oba na ye twenu.
At a press conference, Chief of Danchra, Ni Abusunyakome, called for the intervention of government and police to halt the upcoming exercise to avert possible chaos.
Wampa IGP pai eko pe ko le gbe echo aka IGP hale gba aka se ba fi woni bi o wampa pai na IGP e chale jogba de kala aye e se wo gan mo si afiyele de lojina de ta wole ko afide wo gbojano to ko kusun ko yele ko homo asale nte fidele o me pa government e pa ake mi numo abosan kombe yo mo na mi mo ko kula be agbo eto mi pe o na asale fi on le ko oh ah mo nya bra.
For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwese Ado.
Now, residents of Bichley and adjoining communities, including Apollonia and Kakasunanka, are given the Ghana Water Limited a 3-day ultimatum to fix the persistent water shortages in the area or face intensified protest. Residents say the situation is affecting livelihoods, disrupting businesses and domestic activities, leading to the death of a 6-year-old. Channel 1 News' Manuel Ayama reports.
A deep sense of grief and anger gripped residents of Bichley after a 6-year-old child reportedly drowned in an uncovered septic tank while searching for water on Sunday, May 24. The tragedy, residents say, is a painful consequence of the area's prolonged water crisis. For over 5 months, Bichley and adjoining communities have endured severe water shortages, forcing residents to risk their safety in search of water. The child's death sparked renewed outrage, pushing residents onto the streets in protest.
We use pure water to cook. We use pure water to bath. So we need water. We can't be affording pure water every day, buying jerry cans and water. We can't be doing that. So we need water. Our problem is water. We need water. Water is our problem. Even a small girl died last week because of water. She's going to fetch water and it drank safety tank. So we need water.
What have you been hearing from the Ghana Water Limited?
When we complain, they said the water will come. But they always come and check our meter.
The situation escalated when the Member of Parliament, Fokbon Kantamanso, Joseph Akwete Tete, met the protesters at the starting point to address measures he had taken to resolve the issue, which had so far yielded no results. However, the residents remained agitated as tensions heightened.
We will go to wherever length it will take for us to address this issue. Yes, with the road. Yes, with the roads too as well. Steps are being taken.
Let's address the issue of the water first. That is why our concern. That is why we are here. With all due respect, let's address the issue of the water.
is the main reason why we are here for today. So the road issues can wait.
We are marching. We wrote a letter to Honorable. He waited until we are hitting the streets, and you are here to address us. Are you being fair to us? We sent you a letter in your office. We brought a letter concerning our water. You didn't mind us. We are hitting the streets. You are here to address us.
For 8 months, no water. How can we survive?
When was the last time they billed you, and how much did you pay?
I saw a bill in February, and I said I will not pay because the water is not flowing. That was 210 cedis. Up to now, I have not paid because there's no water flowing.
In a petition, the residents want the Ministry of Works and Housing to intervene with a 3-day ultimatum issued to the Ghana Water Limited to resolve the situation permanently.
This is addressed to the Minister of Works and Housing and Water Resources, but we are copying your office. And once you are on our land, we want you to do something about this. We are hearing in a grapevine that very soon this place will become a region. I don't know how come it's going to be. But if district you cannot supply us water, how can region supply us water? So we are giving Ghana Water 72 hours to serve us. Otherwise, you will see us at your gate again.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, Manuel Ayama.
Well, this is the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. Still to come. 2026 City Business Festival begins in June with a series of impactful sessions aimed at promoting business growth.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first-year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.edupackgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPack, approved and supported by GES.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kakalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, that's you.
Improve car.
Yeah.
Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Femi sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Sasso, come tum preko.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Next, we have Channel 1 Business with Neteli Nete Ajaho.
CNR Business is brought to you by EcoBank.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind the ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Hello, Natalie. Always good to see you.
Good to see you, Tiana.
The month of June promises some amazing stuff for businesses.
Yes, for businesses and entrepreneurs, they should look out for it because we have lots of sessions for them.
Well, break it down for us.
Now, the 2026 edition of the City Business Festival is set to begin this June with a series of impactful sessions aimed at promoting business growth and innovation. Organized by City FM and Channel 1 TV, the festival will focus on key areas of business development, particularly for small and medium-sized enterprises and entrepreneurs.
The City Business Festival returns this June with a month-long program designed to drive business growth and empower entrepreneurs across the country. Organized by City FM and Channel 1 Television, the 2026 edition will feature a range of activities focused on business development, innovation, especially for SMEs and startups. This year's festival will include flagship events such as the Management Bootcamp, orientation sessions for SMEs, and roundtable discussions on resilient growth, strategic partnerships, and sustainable business practices. The General Manager of City FM and Channel 1 Television, Bernard Avle, has been speaking about what to expect from this year's edition.
We look at week 1, which is the foundations of business. We'll be discussing things like how to access finance for your business, how to power your business in a sustainable way, and that type of thing. All right. The housing sector will be looked at as well. And then our second week, we'll look at drivers of Ghana's economy, where we'll drill down into specific sector-focused areas. We'll even talk about the automobile sector, the local automotive assembly sector as one of those areas.
Bernard Avle also touched on the importance of the Management Bootcamp, describing it as one of the festival's key highlights.
Then the third aspect is the executive education component, and this is what we call the Management Bootcamp. Fantastic 7-day experience where mid to senior level managers are brought together to learn the hardcore issues around business. For some it will be a reminder, for many it will also be insightful and new.
The City Business Festival 2026 is powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 Television in partnership with Absa Bank and proudly sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN, Zonda Tech Ghana Limited and Petra Trust.
Now, after tracking price movements across selected commodities in major markets in Accra, the Channel 1 Markets Price Barometer now turns to the voices behind the numbers. This segment draws on engagements across key markets in the capital, offering context to the data and a clearer sense of the factors shaping prices beyond the figures. Here is more.
The past 4 days of tracking prices across major markets in Accra have provided a clear snapshot or insight of how selected commodities are moving within the city's trading spaces. But beyond the numbers on the dashboard are the voices of traders who deal with these price shifts every day. And they say the reality on the ground is shaped by several factors, including transport costs and supply gaps. For Ade, a tomato seller with over 2 decades in the trade, the pressure begins at the point of supply. Cabbage prices, which more than doubled during the period, also drew reactions from traders like Sarah Kumi, who point to supply shortages and other factors. However, some traders also report less pressure, linking price reductions to oversupply.
They say nyaman e cheap dear. Now the sika ni ho mo de to. Nyaman de o kromu pa. Because nka sabri nka brode ne boa ye din. Ye di Easter wi achi a. E na bode ne bo so afu e bode na wo ho na nso omonto.
Let's now bring you an update on crude oil prices and how the local currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's all for business. I am Netele Netiajao. Back to you, Nana.
Well, thank you so much for bringing us the latest in the world of business. Now, let's bring you some other stories where Director of Prisons in charge of Operations and Facility Management, Benedict Bob Derry, has warned that the continued flooding at the Sekondi Central Prisons could weaken the prison structure and potentially lead to prisoner escapes. Speaking during a briefing with the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson, he blamed the situation on ongoing road construction works in the Sekondi Takrady metropolis.
We meet with the authorities as we come up with solutions to. As you know, the prison is a critical infrastructure by the designation of the national security system. Unfortunately, it got flooded a number of times. What I went and saw is a disaster because the prison is old, and as the water goes in there, it weakens the walls of the cells, and it can lead to escapes. Prisoners can take advantage of that and escape. Aside that, it is also a health situation. The prisoners were in the water for some number of hours, and they had to be evacuated to join their colleagues. Already we have an overcrowding situation in the prison, so a whole lot of issues.
The Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Kando, has announced the immediate activation of national emergency health protocols across Ghana to protect the country against a potential outbreak of the Ebola virus. Eno Safo has more in this report.
The multi-site working visit, which saw the health minister inspecting critical screening installations at the Accra International Airport, is aimed at assessing Ghana's preparedness in the event of an outbreak of the Ebola virus. This comes on the back of the WHO declaration of the rare Bundibugyo Ebola strain, a public health emergency of international concern. The minister scrutinized passenger screening points and holding bays.
It is very, very, very important for all of us to cooperate, quite apart from the fact that we've gone to the airport, we inspected all that we have seen. We are also not neglecting or overlooking the activities at the land borders as well. So we are taking activities at the land borders too seriously. It means that if there is any case, we are ready. There's no cause for panic. Nobody should panic. All that we expect from you is to adhere to the precautionary measures. From today, there should not be any mass gathering without a hand washing station. From today, we have issued that advisory and we still stand by it. And it is more important now.
The team also inspected the diagnostic infrastructure at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. The director of the institute, Professor Dorothy Yabuamenu, assured the delegation that the facility's biosafety laboratories have been fully resourced and are structurally prepared to handle accurate, high-speed differential testing for suspected Ebola cases.
Memorial Institute for Medical Research is ever ready to support the country should we detect. We have the expertise, we have the reagents, we have the equipment, and more so we are very prepared because unlike the COVID-19 time, we didn't have a sample receipt center. Thanks to the World Health Organization, the Institute now has a sample receipt center that allows a safe process to receive samples and dispatch to the laboratory. The good news is that we have reagents available, and also not knowing the numbers that will come, we've even ordered additional reagents. We have all the needed expertise, and I would like to say that the country is on top, should there be any eventualities. Thank you.
Accompanying the minister on the tour was the World Health Organization country representative to Ghana, Dr. Fiona Braka, who highlighted the scientific challenges presented by this outbreak.
We want to inform Ghanaians and all those who are living in Ghana that this is a serious disease. Ebola is a serious disease. Currently, the strain we are dealing with does not have a vaccine or approved therapeutics. And so it's going to take all of us to ensure that we understand the disease, that we understand how it is spread, and that we take the necessary measures as individuals, as communities, and as a nation.
The health minister says Ghana is stepping up efforts in its preparedness against any Ebola threat. He has also declared all protocols should be activated at once and no mass gatherings should be held without hand washing stations or the circulation of sanitizers. For Channel 1 News, I am Inu Safo.
Well, let's do some politics now. The opposition New Patriotic Party, NPP, has called on the European Union delegation to Ghana to closely monitor what it describes as deteriorating human rights and democratic governance in the country. The party says the situation is becoming increasingly alarming, justifying the party's decision to engage members of the diplomatic community on the matter. Now speaking to the media after the closed-door meeting, the national organizer of the NPP, Henry Nana Boakye, accused the government of using state institutions to suppress free speech and intimidate political opponents.
We are sending this strong signal to the government that we are not going to succumb to this creeping culture of silence. Criminal libel law was repealed years ago. This attempt by this government to reintroduce criminal libel law, which then sought to criminalize free speech. Now, how they arrest you and then is even alarming. Look at the case of David Asando, who was just arrested in Agona Swedru by some 10 armed men with sophisticated weapons. They drove all the way to Accra. He was caged somewhere. The family didn't know. Party leaders didn't know until the following day about 5 p.m. or so. Look at this young lady who was arrested all the way in Kumau and he was brought to Accra. Why? Because allegedly she has insulted the president.
The global president of Group Indum, Dr. Papakwesi Indum, says GN Savings and Loans will resume operations despite an appeal process filed by the Bank of Ghana following the restoration of its license by the Court of Appeal. Dr. Papakwesi Indum says 10 branches will be reopened in the coming weeks to fill in what he says are gaps within the financial sector. More in the following report by Daniel Sakite.
Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum expressed confidence that the process to resume operations of GN Savings and Loans will proceed uninterrupted following the Court of Appeal ruling restoring the company's license. Addressing a press conference on Friday, Dr. Indum said the group's legal team is fully prepared to address any additional legal challenges that may arise in the process.
As I stand here, Bank of Ghana itself has not even been served with what the lawyers call the consequential orders. They haven't been served yet. And then, again, as I stand here, I have not been served with anything that says somebody is appealing the matter. But when we get anything at all from anybody, we are ready with our attorneys to deal with anything with dispatch. But even if something is served on us, until someone gives us an order different and also superior to what the Court of Appeal had given, we are moving. We're not waiting for anybody.
Dr. Indum also disclosed plans for GN Savings and Loans to restart operations with an initial rollout of 10 branches, although the reopening will not occur simultaneously.
The buildings, we have said out there that we're going to start perhaps with 10 branches where there's no controversy, there's no issue with the receiver or anybody on, and where there's not a significant need for major rehabilitation of the building. And which is why I have said the first branch we open is going to be in Elmina, what they call Elmina Esuichi. And if you go there today, you will find there are workers doing work, resolving electrical matters that's there, looking to do pavement, blocks, anything that is required, they are working on it. I'm certain that within 3 weeks, all of that work will be done and will be ready.
Dr. Indum says efforts to revive GN Savings and Loans are intended to fill the gap created in Ghana's financial sector following the revocation of the institution's license in 2019.
You go to Paga, Tiobodom, Amloga, Debisu, Kwame Danso, Wale, I've mentioned Wedana, Gemini, Tumu, all of those places, we were there. But nobody else has decided to go to those kinds of places.
You're watching the Channel One Newsroom here on Channel One TV. Still to come. Channel One TV secures rights to broadcast 20.
The best part of going home is family.
Sit up! Hey, mommy, my wife is cooking something delicious. We're here.
Lizzie Shito, hot pepper sauce, spicy. Bona yete, Lizzie, oh Lizzie. Lizzie Shito,
Lizzie Shito, the Shito is Shito. Lizzie Shito, over fail.
Lizzie Shito, please, can I take some to school tomorrow?
Yes, my son, you can. Lizzie Shito, dear. Ebesu obiasu.
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Yes, spicy and
Lizzie Shito hot pepper sauce. Spicy.
For bulk purchase, kindly contact 050-168-3344 or 050-155-0998. This advert is FDA approved.
Launching. BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Study a job-ready university program, BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Job is ready for graduates who possess degrees and certificates in BSc Development Economics, professional certificate in theoeconomy, certificate in theoeconomy with business. Enroll at the Department of Theology and Economics at the Ghana Christian University College, Amrahia, Adenta Dodua Road, Accra. Full bursary is available for BSc Development Economics graduates to study master's program at a state university in South Africa. Enroll now. Take advantage of this opportunity to join elite professionals in economics. Call 0557 351 090 or 0575 633 307 or 030 296 0542. WhatsApp us on 0557 351 090 or you can get in touch online on www.theoeconomy.edu.gh. Powered by the Center for Theology and Economics, CTEC.
Back. Up next is Channel 1 Sports with Bernard Abekuochiri.
Yeah,
good to see you.
Great to see you.
You know, I love good news.
Yeah, I've got good news. the news is that viewers have the pleasure to be watching the World Cup on Channel 1 TV. This is
I should have worn my jersey for this.
That's why I'm in my jersey.
But yeah, take us away.
Let's get into it, shall we now? Channel 1 TV has officially secured the right to broadcast matches of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, giving football fans across Ghana full access to every game of the tournament. The competition is set to be hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Will run from June 11 to July 19, with viewers able to follow every moment of the world's biggest football showpiece live on Channel 1 TV. This means Ghanaian fans will not only watch the Black Stars' journey, but also every fixture involving top national teams as the expanded 48-team tournament unfolds. The 2026 FIFA World Cup will be the largest in history, featuring 48 nations and 104 matches across North America, following FIFA's expanded format aimed at increasing global participation. Let's still stay on the World Cup because Communications Director of the Ghana Football Association, Henry Asante-Chum, says Abdul Babar Rahman's return to the Black Stars was based purely on merits and backed by head coach Carlos Queiroz. The Greece-based left-back had been away from the national team after a difficult spell that included being booed by sections of the home crowd in Kumasi during an AFCON qualifier against the Central African Republic. Speaking on the World Cup Central on Channel 1 TV on Friday, May 29, Asante-Chum explained that the players' recall followed careful tactical assessment by the new technical staff.
Was it done on merit? Yes, it was done on merit. Baba had a good season. Yes, he's been out of the team for quite some time since that unfortunate incident in Kumasi, where he was booed by the fans in that AFCON qualifier against Central African Republic. But let me place on record that Carlos may have been the one to successfully convince the player to return. But when Otto was around, he wanted him back. Even when Chris Hughton, under whose tutelage the player had that or experienced that unfortunate incident in Kumasi, also tried, spoke to him several times, went to him, met him on different occasions. And then at that time, the player felt he was psychologically not ready.
That's the very latest from the world of sport. And I am Bernard Abekoche. That's your sports boss.
Thank you so much, Bernard. Good news there. You can watch the 2026 FIFA World Cup right here on Channel 1 television. But for now, do enjoy the rest of our stories online, channel1newsonline.com. I am Nanatu Boati. Many thanks to you for watching.